So the Flau Jae Johnson situation is mental. It is absolutely mental. Like, I cannot believe that it is something we've ever had to see in basketball. So, for some backstory, this is what happened. The LSU and South Carolina heated rivalries. Heated conference rivals. Last year, it ended up in a fight between the two teams. And obviously, they played, was it 2 nights ago? And it was a chippy game. It was a real chippy game. The referees didn't blow their whistle a lot, and it probably didn't favor LSU. But then after the game, after South Carolina winning in South Carolina in a close game, the DJ plays, you know the way, like every team kind of has songs a lot of the time they play after they win. I'm a Leeds United fan. There's a gigantic Leeds United flag. I'm in my parents' house. There's a gigantic Leeds United flag behind where the camera is. Is there any other Leeds stuff in my... I'm actually shocked there's nothing Leeds that I can physically grab with my hand. Like there's that much Leeds stuff in my actual house. But yeah, like whenever Leeds win, I predict a riot gets played because Kaiser Chiefs are Leeds fans and it became associated with Leeds. What is not associated with South Carolina is a song by Flau Jae Johnson's deceased father. And that is what they played to celebrate. And according to this post on X, in fact, the DJ played this song 3 times, once at the top of the 4th when LSU was down, when Anissa fouled out, and at the end of the game with South Carolina was his distasteful, disrespectful, and heartless behaviour. I hope this isn't a representation of Gamecock's women's basketball organisation, because that would be incredibly poor sportsmanship. Like, obviously... So the DJ, then Flau Jae basically posted about how bad it was, and then the DJ quote tweeted it with laughing and then said my bad, and then hours and hours later after laughing about it, went and apologized. And then we had people in the WNBA media saying, "Oh, this isn't a big deal. Let's forget about it." And then when obviously called out, and in fairness, like, even if you didn't know the context when called out, they did the normal apology of, instead of just saying the words, "I'm sorry," or apologizing to Flau Jae, it was, "I didn't realize the context of the situation." And it's like, yeah, obviously, nobody that knows the context of the situation is going to say, "Oh, it didn't mean anything." But, like, even just apologies to Flau Jae, I didn't realize the context of the situation. Obviously, significantly more severe than I first thought. Apologies again, should have never happened. Something along those lines. And again, look, people say in this channel, "Oh, you're somebody doesn't have to say what you want," but it's like, yeah, but like, these are people that talk all. These are the I'll say this always. These are the ones that will call out the new fans and say they're the problem. But it's like, when there's actually a player who is going to very soon be part of the 156 or whatever number it's going to be by the time Flau Jae's in, when something's happening to her, just because, again, she's at LSU, she's not at South Carolina, she's not on UConn, she wasn't a 5-star highly touted high school recruit. Well, she was highly touted, but she wasn't 5-star. Just because, Flau Jae's not in the club, it means, oh, it's not a big deal if something happens to Flau Jae. Like, that's the thing. That is the thing, like, with a lot of these young players. I think a lot of legacy WNBA media isn't a fan of any of the young players. Unless obviously they're a freaking UConn. Because, like, I've seen, as much as they hyped up Angel Reese to spike Caitlin Clark, I think that was the only reason they hyped up Angel Reese to spike Caitlin Clark. And you'll be seeing it, whereas, like, if something like this happened to Paige or AZ or any of them, there'd be people defending them. There would be. And then thank you to South Carolina for posting this right here. We were addressing Friday night's inappropriate in-game song selection, subsequent Instagram post by a DJ who's hired to work for women's basketball games. Her actions were understandably upsetting to Flau Jae and her family and disrespectful to LSU programs and fans. Comments, rivalries, and passionate fan bases should only serve to enhance sports, not be used to target individual players personally. We regret that it's come to our venue, We regret that it came to that in our venue, after a game that saw both teams capture the level of national attention women's basketball has earned. And we apologise to Flau Jae, our family, and LSU. As a result of our actions, the DJ TO will be suspended for the next women's basketball home game. We'll meet with her to provide her further education on our expectations of the future. I never liked the, we're going to educate further. Like, it was something that she thought was trash talk that went too far. Like, there's no, like, we'll meet to educate further. Like, look, everyone kind of knows, even in the heat of the moment, it just takes a conversation being like, come on. Or even, normally it's just a put yourself in the other person's shoes type scenario. Where, like, someone's not gonna, and by the way, we saw with the laughing emojis, at the end of the day, she still thought it was funny even after Flau Jae said something about it, which means, I'm gonna be honest, I still think she's gonna find it funny. Like, I think there should have been a longer than 1 game suspension. I think there should have been a game suspension for actually doing the act, and then another game suspension for laughing about it. But at the same time, the DJ is probably severely underpaid, and I don't want someone to lose money. Actually, you know what? This might be one of the exceptions. Yeah, not missing out on 2 game checks. Is it something worthy for someone to be fired over? I don't believe so, but it got off very lightly. They got off very lightly, like... Imagine, like, there was genuinely calls to get, I can't remember, like, a commentator fired for making the mistake that Kevin Porter Jr. was not realizing that Kevin Porter Jr. was not Kevin Porter, the NBA player's son. And not accidentally said it, but, like, made a reference to him shooting the 3 and then said pulled the trigger like his dad, not realizing Kevin Porter Jr.'s dad. I think that he may, or like, basically he did something with a gun. I don't know what the severity of the crime was, but the commentator thought that Kevin Porter, the NBA player, was Kevin Porter Jr.'s dad. And obviously it got all lost in translation, and it was like LeBron calling for him to lose his livelihood. This is 100 times worse, because there's no excusing it. 2, it was intentional. And 3, she laughed about it. So maybe. Either way, though, awful situation. And look, I don't know. Like, I really don't know what to say about. Like, I haven't been in Flau Jae's position. Hopefully she's okay. But it's like, it's so far past the line. But the funny thing is again, we see women's basketball media defending the DJ. Like, it's actually now protect all players except the players we don't really like. You know, Flau Jae is taking some attention from Paige. And by the way, this is not a freaking race thing. Like, it is just who their golden child, like, golden boy or golden girls are. Like, I think Paige was meant to be that. And, you know, I think a lot of these people hype Danger Reach just to spite Caitlin Clark. And I think you're going to be seeing a lot less hype towards a lot of these players. You're going to be seeing a lot less Hannah Hidalgo hype because, you know, Juju is the chosen one, not Hannah Hidalgo. You're going to be seeing a lot less Flau Jae hype because Paige was the chosen one, not Flau Jae. Even though if the draft was to happen today and Flau Jae went for it, Flau Jae could go number 1. But, yeah, that's pretty much it, lads. That is the video. Thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe.